Well, John, that is because John DeMarco is saying good evening, and I can't hear you. Well, thank you for letting me know. That is because I missed the unmute button by that much. Missed it by that much. So what I was saying is I've tried to lower the latency down of the game or latency down of the YouTube stream down to like ultra low, just as low as we can get, because I'm having a lot more fun letting y'all answer the questions than having me answer the questions. So we'll see what this won't do for us. We'll come back to this. I want to do some puzzles. Last time we had to answer a bunch of questions. John's saying it sounds good, so I want to do a more puzzle-oriented stream, hopefully tonight. And as you can see, I am back to 100% here. Spent yesterday kind of feeling blah, but by today, the end of the day, I was doing great. And yesterday was hard. I wasn't just okay. This is called Moonshot. I wasn't feeling like stomach buggy anymore, but I was having some breathing problems yesterday. I have just the worst lungs ever. Had asthma since the time I was 13-ish, and it was just, for whatever reason, I was having the hardest time breathing after everything was said and done. Okay. And so that was like the worst part of this whole thing. I don't mind being sick, but I hate not being able to breathe. It's just the pits. But it's all better now. Everything's back to normal. So I'm ready to have some fun. Okay, so our red light's over there. And we got connected this guy. And we got some fences in the way, so let's see if I can't just get it connected like this. I cannot. Maybe I can get two of them set up. Or maybe I can blow the fan up. Or blow it up upwards with the fan. Can I sit on maybe one at a time? Alright. Nope. Close. How about using that to do it? There we go. I just cannot say enough about the visuals of this game being so good. I mean, I'm pretty sure this came out in 2014. So this is a 5-year-old game now. And it is just, I mean, it's probably not Space Engineers level of good, but this is a great game. Or just great graphics on the game. Of course, I am a sucker for night sky when it comes to graphics, which is why my stream starting is the view of, well, I say it's the view of the Earth from the moon, but I mean that's an exaggerated Earth rise there. Okay, so select a message. I have no idea what's going on. Do you? The tools to overcome this place have been provided to us. We need only to learn to use them. I think these are the same messages we get every single time. And I'm kind of disappointed they don't mix it up for us a little bit. Like, it'd be interesting if, depending on what you've done in the game so far, they gave you different options. But, I just want to see if my version number is changing. Because I think I've got caught by a Pokeball once or twice since the last time. So I'm at version 28.11. Which, if I can remember, I'll go through my stream later on and see if the version numbers are changing or not. Okay, we still have a star to find and one more sigil. The tomb. I'm convinced there are answers here if we look hard enough. We have to work together on this. Signed, Sheet. I think that's one of the message options we've been given in the past. Okay, so I get it. I'm supposed to retrieve these sigils. I just don't get why. Sorry, I had a timer going. I've been making pumpkin seeds. Okay, so I get I'm supposed to retrieve these sigils. I just don't get why. Sure, the loud voice is telling me to, but the world of his has no context, no purpose, and no foundations from which to construct them. Signed, Dog. Yeah, so tonight I got to carve some pumpkins with my kids, and I always like to take the pumpkin seeds when we're done, and I attempt to make some good pumpkin seeds. We'll see how this time turns around. Usually we just dry them and cook them for a little bit, but this time I've tried adding some spices, and I'm excited to see how it turned out. But I already opened up the oven, so I'm not going to be burning anything. Or turned it off and then opened it up a little bit. Alright. Here's another red one. There's a sigil. So how do I get that one to also connect over there? Let's see. I can connect. I bet I'm missing something obvious. Let's backtrack here. We got one jammer. Oh, that's the obvious thing I'm missing. Okay. John saying, signed by Dog. Considering the context of the game, supposed to be a mirror of God? Interesting. I hadn't thought of it that way. You know, this whole time, John, I've been thinking that was supposed to be like Dogma. But now that you say it, I do wonder if it's not supposed to be like a reverse of God. Because that would certainly kind of fit the... that would fit. Let's try this again. I had my own beam blocking me. Which, that's interesting to find out now that you can be blocked by your same color beam. Because I knew that crossing beams of different colors would block them, but I didn't think that crossing beams of the same color would block them also. What? Okay, I totally lucked into that. Is there another one on this side? Okay, we need to get the jammer over here somehow. Okay, that is just one of the things I am really loving about these kind of games. The completely out of nowhere hidden things like this. Like the puzzle solving, that's fun, but I really love the things they hide away from you. Oh, come on. Okay. Somehow, I need to get a red beam up here, which we can take one of these connectors. We're not going to get a red beam out there, but I bet you that if I put him here, I can somehow get a red beam out this way somewhere. So this week, like yesterday I think it was, one of the games in my Steam wish list went on sale, like a 60% or 70% off discount. It's called Forgotten Anne, and I am really excited to give it a play here soon. Whenever we finish this one, I hope to start that game up, because the little bit I've seen of it, it is kind of the same venue of, here's a mystery, now go solve it. Where's that hole we just came out of? So I look forward to solving or playing that game next. Okay. Okay, over there we got the red beam, but I need to get... Oh, you know what? I can use the jammer to get the second connector out here. Like this. Okay, let's see if we can't get the moonshot connector. There we go. Oh, we still only have 8 stars. So we need 2 more of the stars in order to get into the first secret area. So let's go ahead and read this now. Oh, Milton's ready to talk to us. Okay, Milton. Here's what I've been wondering while you were off carrying out commandments. You suggested that consciousness is not part of the same world as ordinary physical things. That means you can't weigh it. You can't throw it around or cut it into pieces. It is completely beyond the laws of physics, right? And I'd say right. Yes, I would definitely say that consciousness... I mean, with what they are giving to work with, I'd say that, yes, I would agree with the statement. Good. Now, the library is fairly consistent on the view that physical events are caused by other physical events. If you move your legs, it is because of the interaction between your neurons and your nervous system. But if your consciousness is beyond the laws of physics, how can happiness physically make you jump for joy? Consciousness is mysterious by nature. It can't. It just feels like it can. But if consciousness is physical, why is it so unlike ... I may have taken a wrong turn in my reasoning. I would say that happiness can only make you feel like it can make you jump for joy. Consciousness is certainly mysterious by nature. We try to pin things down that can't necessarily be pinned down. I mean, even philosophy majors would have to agree with that. Like agnostic or atheistic philosophy majors would have to agree that you can't pin down for certain what consciousness is. But I would say that consciousness is mysterious, I think. Okay, let's do consciousness is mysterious by nature. Let me put it another way then. The law of conservation of energy is the foundation of modern physics. It states that the total energy in the universe never changes. Now compare a universe where you jump for joy and one where you decide not to. The former has more total energy in it, because the energy for you to jump wasn't caused by something physical, but your non-physical mind. But according to physics, that's impossible. I think that either you have to reconsider your position or deny the entirety of physics. Though be warned, if this turns out to be built on physics, who knows what ramifications of doubting it may be. Okay, so he is giving us such a false dichotomy with this whole position. But our options are I renounce physics or I renounce these ideas about consciousness. They are definitely trying to railroad us toward a specific thought process of John saying, I think there is some faulty logic in there. I fully agree. He's trying to say that, you know, we live in a closed system universe and that energy is neither lost nor created, it just changes states. And that energy is coming from nowhere, but that's ridiculous because the energy would be coming from myself. An emotional response would cause me to have that energy, but the energy would still be coming from me. It's not coming from nowhere. But the only options we get are I renounce physics or I renounce these ideas about consciousness. I don't really like either of those options. I'd kind of like to renounce physics if those are the only options I'm given. If he's going to play silly buggers with me, I'll play silly buggers with him right back. Yeah, you know, I'm going to renounce physics. I'm going to see what he has to say to me being ridiculous right back to him. I wish we could renounce this line of reasoning, right? Be on your head.
Do not think I know not the deceiver slithering through the hidden words. His wisdom is hollow and born of despair. Do not let him tangle you in his webs of delusion. Have faith in me, and his petty illusions will fall away like nightmares in the morning's light.
Be it on your head. Still, the alternatives are equally unconvincing. How consciousness can be so intimately familiar to you, and yet so obscure, I just don't understand. And then Elohim spoke, "Don't mind him. He's just worried that if you ask too many questions, you'll start to see through his shtick. Stick with me, and the sky will quite literally be the limit. At any rate, I'd like you to think a bit harder about all this and get back to me. I'm sure there's still progress to be made here." And then let's go ahead and read these, because we're done with this area now. So, I don't know. So, I'm still enjoying this game. I like the puzzle aspects of it. I really didn't like what it just did to us with this whole false dichotomy. I really feel like they're trying to force us into a philosophical stance rather than creating an openness for thought. And I suspect that we're going to see more and more of that railroading us as time goes on. Anyway, let's go ahead and read about science magic HTML. Though the term science has only meant what it does for around 600 years, its practice far predates the name. There is evidence pre-Aristotle which indicates soothsayers, mystics, and the like have been employed, or may have employed basic scientific methods to predict the future and confound their benefactors. One anecdote concerns a palm reader who was exposed when two wealthy clients compared their readings and found them to be identical. In 1948, the tendency to discover deep personal meanings in vague descriptions delivered authoritatively was given a name, the Fourier effect. Today it is recognized in all contemporary psychological theory. Okay. Let's read Weight Loss 722. Weight Loss Blog. Latest entry. Oh man, if there's one thing that's good about inevitable death, it's the food. Yeah, baby, I'm going to have all the horribly unhealthy food in the world. I'm going to feast on jelly bananas like a crazy monkey on Monkey Christmas. And you know those muffins that have so much chocolate they're basically melting? That's going to be my breakfast. And burgers for lunch. I'm going to have burgers so greasy you could use them to lubricate a whole Constitution-class starship. Triple bacon hamburgers with double cheese and extra onions and mayonnaise and ketchup and mustard and big fat juicy patties. And then oily thick pizza with spicy salami and barbecue sauce and olives and jalapenos and sour cream. Food coma. Here I come. End blog. Okay, so the world is ending. Seems like the world is definitely ending in this game. Arcade Journal. Fascinated by Drennan's project. Lovely conversations regarding Talos Principal, Greek philosophy, relevance to current situation. Suggested naming Project Talos. Drennan refused, but name seems to have caught on with the team. Tens of thousands of files coming in every hour, our whole history. I think Alexander Drennan. I think Drennan is my last name there. John saying Captain Kirk's been hitting the synthesizers a little too much. So yeah, I think I was Drennan. That seems to be the way. I think that was Alexander's last name. And it seems as if there's a world destruction event going on, internet's going down, power's being lost, and we're trying to save some biologics. And we just got a new subscriber. How cool is that? Thank you very much. I don't think he's in here right now, but you know, I've set up Streamlabs, and I don't think I've gotten around to setting up an animation to show up for a new subscriber yet. I miss my opportunity by that much. But if you are around, Jason, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Sci-Fi Nation saying hail at Life with Matthew. Hey Sci-Fi Nation, thanks for stopping by. So let me explain a little bit about what we're doing in case you haven't been here before. I'll do some puzzles while I'm talking about this. I am playing a game called the Talos Principal, and this is so far been an extremely fun puzzle game with with a lot of philosophy thrown in. And this level is going to be called Blown Away, it looks like. And what we've been able to piece together so far is that there has been a catastrophic event in the real world. All right, there's a star we're trying to get. And that event is causing the internet to shut down. It's causing... it's causing power to go offline. And it seems to be killing everyone, to put things bluntly. And it seemed as if we were a person named Alexandra Drennan. And on our first day, things have gone horribly wrong. Sci-Fi Nation Live with Matthew. Jason is my other non-channel. Okay, well, thank you so much for subscribing on that one also, Jason. So let's see, we can now open that. So yeah, there's been this, it seems as if everything's dying. They're trying to save some biologics. And we are just stuck here in this virtual environment because we are so in a virtual environment. The other day, we were doing this stream and out of nowhere, every once in a while, you'll be walking along and you'll see a recording, like a robot that looks just like you. In fact, I found out yesterday we can get a third-person view going on here. So this is what we look like in this virtual environment. And the other day, we leave a puzzle, and all of a sudden this blue recording comes screaming right at our faces. And it just came out of nowhere, completely freaked me the heck out. And so what we are doing is there are these terminals, and sometimes they have just general philosophy or a blog telling us what's going on in the world. And every once in a while, a thing called the Milton Library Assistant will come on and preach its philosophy at us, because it's definitely preachy. I figured it out. Now what? Signed, Dog. The only meaningful purpose is to bring about an end of purpose. Signed, The Shepherd. I see that distortion right there. That's one of the things that tipped us off that it was a VR world. So whenever we come up against this Milton Library Assistant who preaches at us, he'll ask us for a response. And what we do is I try to give you guys, I'll read out what he says and read the possible responses we can give. And then whatever you guys ask for is the response I'll enter in. So Bird of Prey was on here at one point, and we decided that if we met a man in the middle of a desert, instead of helping him if we had the water to spare, we would kill him and drain his blood for later and put it in a flask. So the Milton Library Assistant is quite convinced we are sociopaths, and I can't really disagree with him based on our response there. Okay, so I can break this for a minute. Okay, now I have an extra fan. Not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. So a lot of this game is just me doing things wrong until I figure out how to do it right. And it's being a lot of fun. And Sci-Fi Nation is saying, he's saying thanks to John DeMarco for saying hi, and then also spreading the nerd love and QR codes, digital version ID. Yeah, one of the fun things, we found one QR code and it wouldn't scan in. Like most of the time you look at it on screen and it translates it for you. But one of them it didn't, and I used my phone QR reader and it said the Eagle has landed. It gave a bunch of error codes, and then it was signed Uriel. And I still don't know what that one is about. We haven't found the star in that level, I don't think. But I suspect that whatever the star is, it has something to do with the Eagle has landed. Which, I mean, we all know what that's from. But it's just a matter of what relevance does the moon landing have in that puzzle, which I have no idea yet. I haven't found the sigil in this level. Okay, so somehow we gotta get past this fan. How can we do this? So as part of this game, okay, now maybe I can run there fast enough. As far as this game, we're having to collect these sigils. No, I cannot run there fast enough. There are green sigils, which are just the Tetris-looking pieces, which we found out are called tetraminos. So there are green tetraminos, which open up different parts of the official game for us. There are red tetraminos, which they open up a tower, and we've been told never to go up the tower by this voice that's calling himself Elohim. And then there are stars that we're trying to find, and also some yellow ones that unlock different things for us. Like this fan here was unlocked by finding enough of the yellow Tetris pieces. And Sci-Fi Nation is saying 1969 lunar landing. They had main bus B failure on the landing. Really? I did not know. So I am obviously, if you ever see the waiting to start picture I have on this for my stream, I am just a huge fan of all things space. But I had absolutely no idea that the lunar module had problems like that on landing. Okay. I think I can see how to get there. Not that way. Okay. If I block this stream, let's see if I can't move there quick enough now. Nice. Okay, so I finally have gotten up enough of the red tetraminos where I think we could climb the first level of the tower if we wanted to go do that. Sci-Fi Nation is saying they overshot planned landing coordinates. Oh. Theory, this place is some kind of preserve for human history, and we are the endangered species. Signed, sheep. Theory, trying to find answers will only bring pain. Ceasing to care is the only escape. Signed, Samsara. Theory, this guy's 10 times more help than you, Samsara, so shut your face. Signed, Sam. Theory, we're in some kind of incubator waiting to be hatched. Signed, Sheep. And Theory, if you knew how little you know, you wouldn't be exposing it here. Signed, Dog. So this is the second kind of YouTube comment section we found. The first one was just hilarious. They were arguing about whether one of these companion cube pieces was a square or a cube, a tetrahedron, or a hedron or something. And it just encapsulated, okay, this is called Eagle's Nest. It encapsulated the YouTube comment section perfectly. Okay. That didn't do much for me. Okay. Alright, I need to somehow get past this fan. I got a companion cube. I got 2 companion cubes. Surely that will get me something. Maybe this will weight me down. Let's see if I can't drop them in. Do a little airdrop. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Locked. No. Take it off. Take it off. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's look at the computer here and see if it has just some kind of background text for us, or if it has some more of the Milton. Okay, let's read progress report 9, I'm guessing, .email. From Bob Rakowski, in error, to Ian mailing list. The basic skeleton of the simulation is now running on L. It's not plugged into the AI system yet, but in theory everything is ready. I guess the next step is to test whether the generated scenarios make sense, or do we wait for the iteration module to, and then errors out? So yeah, we are so in some sort of virtual environment, and the world is either ending or ended a long time ago. Democrates Alter, or In the Just Cause for War Against the Indians by John Guinness de... I'm not going to pronounce that. Written in 1547 to justify the Spanish conquest of the Americas. The Spanish have a perfect right to rule these barbarians of the New World, who in humanity are as inferior to the Spanish as children are to adults. Or, I'm not going to read that next part, they'll so get me demonetized. You can see it on the screen. For there exists between the two as great differences as, I might even say, between apes and men. Compared then, these gifts with those possessed by these half-men, in whom you will barely find the vestiges of humanity, who not only do not possess any learning at all, but are not even literate, and even eat human flesh? Therefore, if you wish to reduce them, I do not say to our domination, but to a servitude a little less harsh, it will not be difficult for them to change their masters. And then Osiris 3. The first wisdom, the scribe said to the dying man, is that as the world is made of the 5 elements, so is the soul of man. Know therefore that in this life you are heart and shadow and name, and also Ka and Ba. Without all these, you would not be a living being, but a thing. What is a man without a name, who cannot speak of himself? What is a man without a shadow, who is not anchored in this world? What is a man without a heart, who can neither feel nor think? What is man without Ka, who has no essence? What is man without Ba, who is not himself, but an unformed clay? Therefore praise Osiris, the king of eternity, the lord of the blah blah blah, the eldest son of the womb of Nut, who traverses millions of years in his existence. Here the translator is clearly inserting his own beliefs onto the text. Okay. So that's one of the things we've discovered, is that in the first temple area, it had a very Greek feel, whereas this one seems to be more about the Egyptian one. I have no idea what the point of the slavery one was. That was weird. Christianity trying to persuade worshippers of multiple gods to convert. Sounds like maybe so. Maybe so. They definitely have a philosophical framework that they are presenting here. Okay, this one's called Sunshot, to mirror the moonshot from the last one. Okay. Which, here's a fan, so I'm going to guess that doesn't work. I'm going to guess we got to do something jumpy related. There is a ladder, so I'm gonna send both these cubes over. John DeMarco, that was an interesting group of quotes. Yeah, it was. You gonna keep doing this? Okay, there's not a ladder on this one, so if I sent both boxes over now, I'd be stranded over here. So let's use this box to send me over. Oh, I've got enough to enough tetraminos to unlock the next whatever it is. Notice the Washington Monument. Okay, so yeah, that is Washington Monument-like. Didn't the Egyptians have that kind of monument, or was that truly something that the Egyptians didn't have? And I'm just assuming they did because they threw it inside a Egyptian-looking area. Okay, so we did find the star in this level. It was in a really obvious spot. And Sci-Fi Nation saying yes. Which I'm assuming that means yes, the Egyptians did have that kind of monument also. It was one of these. I think the Washington Monument, John's saying, I think the Washington Monument was based on an Egyptian obelisk. It was, I want to say it was, but it was also the inspiration shape for one of my favorite DS9 episodes. And at least it used to be. I haven't seen it in ages, but it was the one where Cisco got a hold of a hologram of some obelisk on Bajor, and they had never been able to solve the mystery of the obelisk. Is that one of my light beams over there? And he was like zapped in the head. Yeah, the Lost City one. That's right, Sci-Fi. But he had gotten zapped in the head or something, and he was able to like use detective work to solve what all four sides of the obelisk had said. And I really enjoyed. It was a departure from their usual formula. And John's saying rapture. Yeah, in Sci-Fi, and he found it. He did. So, oh hey, you know what? I bet if I can somehow get that stream to be red, we can get that star over there. But how do I get red over there? But yeah, I really like that it was such a departure from the norm for the DS9. I think also, like, wasn't that the episode where, or am I combining two episodes into one? Where there was one episode where he got zapped and he like really embraced being the prophet, or not the prophet for the Bajorans, and he actually stopped the Bajorans from becoming part of the Federation at that time. Was that two episodes I'm combining into one there? I'm not seeing how to get. Sci-Fi Nation saying, if this game is like the mini game in Fable, they make all the color lines the same. And John Samaker saying, yes, it's an episode. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm glad I'm not completely insane. Let's see. All right, I can connect there. Like that. That is a narrow window they're giving me. Let's see if I can't prop up everything above it. Where'd it go? Connect there, there. Okay, that is not gonna cut it. But it's because I'm just barely too far to the left. So let's... It's too far. Right here is the furthest I can get. So let's, oh, there's no way I'm gonna get it right here. Yeah. I'd be real annoyed if this isn't how to get it. I'm just wasting our time. Ah, I am just inches off. Or pixels off. It's a video game. There we go. Sci-Fi Nation, I saw you on 18 stream and subbed you. I'm glad I did. Well, thank you so much. I am also glad you did. I'm very glad you did. You know, I've said this in a video a couple times. I am not trying to make a living out of doing this, which is why I don't have Patreons. I mean, I've set up a Streamlabs, so I'm not out to get donations or anything like that. I'm just having a lot of fun doing these videos and having y'all guys stop by and join me while I'm having fun is just. It is the most fun I get to have on doing this. So I'm really appreciative that you guys come and join. Oh wait, I forgot to... Whoops. Hope he says that again when I go back in. But I want to solve this Tetramino puzzle. So once we collect enough of these, then we have to figure out how to arrange them. Let's see, will this... Which, yeah. And Sci-Fi saying, me neither, still have to post a vid, do not have the equipment to stream yet. And yeah, it is Tetris. It doesn't fall down on us, but it is Tetris-y. You know, I started off, my first stream I did, I had a really ring-a-dink webcam and I used my phone to record the audio. Rats. He didn't say it again. Hopefully it wasn't anything too important. And John's saying, who would have thought all those years playing Tetris as a kid would pay off as an adult, right? Okay, let's read Osiris 6. Error, knew it was the truth. Now I will tell you the many perils you will face in your journey through the duat. Listen well, for the challenges that lie before you are great. And if you do not prove yourself worthy, you may never reach the eternal reed fields of Osiris, and you may be lost forever. From the second death, there is no awakening. The scribe brought forth a great papyrus, and carefully unfolded it before the dying man. And the dying man beheld that it was a map of the duat, showing the many paths that led to the Tower of Anubis, where his heart was to be weighed, on each of the many paths, which threaded throughout the duet like the infinite threads woven by Neith. There were marked the dangers that a traveler must face. But there were also great walls of iron that none but the gods could cross, and gates made of purest light. And so the traveler could not avoid the trials that had been decreed, and could only proceed toward the tower by proving his worth, thus earning the key to each sacred gate. And Sci-Fi Nation is saying, I'm 43, I got you on gaming, lol. Arcady Journal is 84. Archive continues to grow, attempting to maintain a semblance of order as difficult as expected. Lost 7 people this week. Statistically speaking, trend should increase. Must focus on realistic goals. Too little time to grieve. Okay, so not just a internet and power issue. It seems as if some sort of plague is going around. Which was it? The time before we read someone made a goofy song talking about everyone's got it, but the dog doesn't got it. So I wonder if there's some flu-like something that went around and is starting to kill people off. And yeah, John saying archive of people as they die, perhaps. I'm wondering if that's where they're going with that. And then chatlog Charlie 7. Flowers 4. Man, you know what really freaks me out? Charlie on the rocks. What? Flower. The human body decomposes quite quickly. So all the information stored in chemicals in our brains will be gone really quickly. Charlie rocks. Dude. Flower. But computers and books last a long time. So all our messages, our ideas, our books, it's all out there. Charlie. Our adult entertainment. Flower. Even being transmitted through space. Yeah, our entertainment too, I guess. We'll all be gone, but the works of Aristotle will still exist. Yeah, because people are really concerned about Aristotle's work existing. Here we go. Now Flower's talking right. So will Star Trek, Firefly, Babylon 5, Lord of the Rings, Blade Runner, Charlie Rocks, Cyber or something, Planeton 6, Shakespeare, Byron, even video games. Charlie, Overdrive 3, Seattle something, Dutch Cascade, the blank of the mountain. Charlie, what on earth, dude? Charlie, yeah, imagine aliens find those. And Sci-Fi is saying energy has to go somewhere, even in death, because science! It's been a while since we've seen a journal entry somewhere. As we've been going along, we've been finding these digital journal entries. And it's this Dr. Alexandra lady who I'm still pretty convinced that's who we are. I think we're some sort of like her neural recording maybe? Because it called us a test subject whenever we ascended the tower the first time. It said, unable to locate test subject. So I still think that we are Alexandra, and either we are way in the future or things are going on right now. Because at one point it talks about the library archive has been on for 999 years. So it had a math overflow error there. But at the same time, they're talking about this only being like a couple 100 years event, maybe? So I'm not sure which way they're going yet. Some of these challenges must be designed with cooperation in mind, but I'm the only one here. Sheep. Okay, so I'm guessing that... Okay, I'm guessing that we're about to make a recording here. I've played games, where you do time recordings. This could go interesting. Let's see what happens if we do this. Oh. Okay, so that's me from the front. Sci-Fi Nation sounds like a cross between Lara Croft and that one TOS episode. Which one? Which TOS episode? I mean, Lara Croft. I'm assuming you're talking more of the original Tomb Raider, but which TOS? Okay, will give me a few seconds this time to. Let's see. I pick up my connector. I bring it over here. I go click, click, and then it charges up. The wall goes down. I run in there. Okay, hopefully that's enough time. Sci-Fi Nation, where they find a planet about to die and go into its past. I don't remember that episode. Like, I remember a very similar episode of Voyager, where there's the planet that the planet that's trapped in the time bubble, and it's going like hundreds and hundreds of times faster than them, and it was after the Doctor got his mobile emitter. I remember the TNG episode where there's a planet that's coming in and out of phase between, I want to say it was between two dimensions, but I don't recall the TOS episode. A librarian is 3 robot clones. Yeah. Here in the game here. Let's see. Oh, look. Another puzzle. And another voice telling me I'm special. And another broken down computer with fragments of nothing. This world is a bad joke perpetuated by a cruel god too dumb to hit the off switch. Signed, Dog. Sci-Fi Nation's better reticuli planet. It is not ringing a bell. One thing I have just found is an extension to Chrome that lets me do Netflix at like up to 3 times the speed I could normally play it at. And I am having a lot of fun going through all the different Star Treks using that, because instead of having to do, you know, one episode taking me like, you know, a full 15 minutes, I can now do 2 episodes in the same amount of time, because I've seen them all. It's just having fun getting to watch them again. Okay, now I can leapfrog it. Oh, but we were talking about video equipment to do all this. So I started off with, I had a cheapo webcam, and I mean, I technically could have just used my cell phone. I got a Samsung S9 here. And I could have gotten, you know, just a cheap little thing to hold on to it, set it up on my desk, and use the sound to record and do the video. And I could have done good enough videos off of it like that. But I was fortunate enough to have just a webcam hooked up to my computer, and then I did record the sound with this because all the different like microphones, like these Samsung earphones that came with the phone, the microphone quality was just horrible on them. It was better to use my phone. But those were the audio quality was real rough on those first ones. John is saying, that was all our yesterdays. To escape a supernova, the population of a planet went to a different historical periods. And Sci-Fi is saying, I'm going on record on my Galaxy J7, transfer to PC to edit and upload for now. Or I'm going to record on my Galaxy J7. Yeah, I think I could have done that for a long time indefinitely. Over the course of several months, the first investment I actually made was this little lapel mic. Let me get this out of the way. That guy right there. I spent all of 15, maybe 20 bucks on it off Amazon, and if I was out in a windstorm, it wouldn't work. But just here in my office, it is proven to be more than enough audio quality for what I need. And then beyond that, I went ahead and upgraded my webcam at one point, which, oh, there we go. There's the recording device, which I actually did it. I got lucky on this one. For my webcam, I work from home, and I needed a new webcam for work because the quality of that webcam was getting bad anyway for professional video conferences. So I was able to use that as an excuse to get a better webcam. And then I spent maybe another 20 bucks and got a green screen, which is what I'm using behind me right now. But instead of paying through the nose to get like an expensive like frame to put it on, what I did is I bought 10 bucks worth of I got 10 bucks worth of PVC pipe. I just looped it around the PVC pipe, and that's how I made my green screen behind me. And the only thing about the green screen is I found out that I have to have it really well lit, so I stole a couple lamps from around the house to get the lighting good enough so that I can have, this quality. As Sci-Fi is saying, so for 30 bucks I can get a cam and a mic to record even on my own old Windows 7 Hopti. Yeah, like it was really easy. And then I use just free software. Like to stream right now, I'm using the Streamlabs version of OBS software, which had a learning curve to it. But once I figured it out, it's served me well enough for everything I've needed so far. And then to actually edit the video, so I can record video nicely on Streamlabs OBS, but to then edit the video, I've been using a program called Shotcut, SHOT cut, and it's nice enough. Like it's nothing fancy, but it's more than enough to produce a video and upload it. And that was my next. Sci-Fi saying that was my next question. Best free editor. Yeah, Shotcut's worked for me. I think there's probably better ones out there. There used to be a problem that I was having where Shotcut, I'd do like 3 or 4 edits, and then it would crash on me. Just hard cut, boom, crash. So I was having to save all the time. But then it finally, one of the more recent updates, it seems like it's stabilized. And that's made a great difference. Okay, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I need to block these streams. Sci-Fi Nation, I heard Premiere was good. Not sure I even have the hardware for it right now. I have no idea. Let's see, maybe if I put it over here I can block the screen? Okay, so I'm gonna need to block both these streams. So if I put this one here, and we'll let that go on for a second here. You know, I recently upgraded my laptop for work, and it's a real nice laptop now. It has a GTX or a GeForce RTX 2080, I want to say. And can you block the stream with recording? That's what I'm assuming. I mean, if I need both of them, oh, you know what? After I lock it, I'm gonna need to open it up like this. But before that, I was using a laptop that was 8 to 10 years old. I got it from the rummage bin at my old work. Like whenever they retired their laptops, they'd throw it in an electronics recycling bin. And so let's see. Nice. And so I was making do on that for quite a while. Which, I mean, I had a good amount of memory in there. I want to say I had 16 or 32 gigs of RAM in my laptop. But the actual processor was it was a pretty old processor for a laptop. Let's see. See, I could stick around here, set my hopes on eternal life, on righting every wrong, but the closest I'll ever get is these words on the wall before you. And it's not signed by anyone. The Sci-Fi Nation saying, go through Review Tech USA, get discounts on GPU cards, and rent them to upgrade anytime. You know, I've seen that. So with this laptop, it has one of the Thunderbolt 3 ports. So it has one of those abilities where you could plug in an external true processor, or GPU processor onto it. Let's see what this says.
Is information transmitted across time. The living and the dead are part of the same chain, bound together by chemistry. That's true of all species. But humanity has taken this bond further. Thanks to technology, we have access to the thoughts and ideas of people whose physical bodies are long gone. Like you listening to me now. Even though I'm definitely dead at this point, you're part of that chain. You have the capacity to remember.
And Sci-Fi Nation is saying, yes, Thunderbolt is wicked awesome. 3.0 is out now. I'm pretty sure 3 is what I have, because I'm actually my setup I do. And okay, so hold that thought. What we've added a couple mods into this game because there are a couple of sensitive-esque words that this game presented us with that I thought YouTube algorithm would not be happy with. And so we started to call these little objects Pokeballs. And by sheer luck, they had a mod turning these objects into Pokeballs. So now we can avoid this B-O-M-B word, if you catch my drift. And now we can just call them Pokeballs. So these little Pikachu ones that have lightning, they won't capture us. They just knock us around, and they'll disrupt any light stream going through them. So they're a nuisance. The ones without Pikachu inside of them, they will capture us if you pick up what I'm putting down, and it will reset the whole level over. Let's see here. Oh crap! I completely. Okay, so yeah, my setup here. I do programming work for these industrial controllers, and as a result, I'll usually have the screen I'm working on, a second screen that has some sort of relevant information on it, and then a third screen. Are you kidding me? I can bypass the Pokeball entirely? That can't be the end of the level. It is not. And then a third screen that would have like a TV show on it. Because a lot of times when I'm doing this programming work, it is just a lot of repetition. Wait, are these both Pikachu ones? Yeah, they're both Pokeballs. Let's see. It seems that mistakes here are easily forgiven. I thought I had surely died, yet here I am, reset, rebooted, reborn. I'll tackle these challenges anew. Signed, Samsara, version 72. Epitaph, child program version 72.2.103, codename Samsara. Okay, is that the one who just made the same comment? 72.2.39, 72.2.103. So this is a much later reversion. Terminated here. Logic. Program failed to pass random memory test. Final memory dump. Being torn limb from limb by machines for the rest of eternity because less and less appealing to me. Or becomes less and less eternity. Progeny program, Samsara version 72.3 series. Matthew, that's awesome. I was self-taught in C++ and DOS and HTML in the early 2000s. Yes, Samsara same. So it looks like this Samsara program was rebooted, and then eventually it completely died out, and version 72.3 was spawned. So they are talking about an AI program. So it seems as if they're talking about the L program and the AI program. And I want to say, I've seen these really fun videos on YouTube where they actually show an AI learning how to get past levels of like Flappy Bird. And it starts off with like 100 of these birds, and they all go flying down the screen, and 99 of them die or hit an obstacle or something, and then one of them makes it through, and it does that over and over and over again, and eventually you have an iteration of the program that can perfectly fly through it, because all they did is saw what key inputs got the program the farthest. So I'm wondering if that's what we're seeing here. I'm wondering if... Oh, rats, that Pokeball is totally disrupting the pattern right there. So yeah, I'm wondering if that's what we're seeing here, these progeny programs. And John is saying, what I'm thinking now is that as people die, their consciousness is somehow transferred into a robot with multiple iterations. Sci-Fi Nation, watch the Pokeball pattern as it releases its colored lines. Am I missing something there, Sci-Fi? Time the color changes to happen between interruptions. Oh, yes, yeah, so as this Pokeball crosses right here, it will disrupt my line, and that's what's causing it to turn black there. Which, getting it over this top one here, that may be all the time we need. We gotta get it connected and figure out how much time it actually takes to get charged up. So we're gonna need to connect it like... Oh wait, no. I'm being silly. I gotta connect all three of them. Okay, so that's never gonna work. Alright, maybe I need to bring the what's this guy over here? Maybe we need to bring the box to the outside. And maybe I also, if I get these guys on the same interruption pattern. Right about there. Oh, and then I can just block this guy off entirely. Like that. Let's see if this doesn't do it for us. Alright. Then... Okay. Yeah, first one's gonna mess up, that's fine. I probably don't have them on a similar enough. Oh, it's gonna cut it close. Nice. Hello? What's this then? I'm gonna take this guy. Seems important. Is that... I want to see what's back there. I see a fan blowing. That means there's probably a secret back there. See if I can't jump over this wall. Hey, Pokeball, get over here. Let's see. Ha ha ha! Got it. Sci-Fi Nation saying try for high ground while keeping multiple targets in sight. Never mind. Yeah, there we go. We got it. We got it. So we've been talking about the way this game has made just fantastic use of its design elements. Epitaph, Child Program 17, codename ACT, terminated here. Logic, fatal flaw in series firmware, final memory dump, life is short. Progeny programs, dog. One of the ways they've made great use of their design is that there are so many moments in this game where like a slight tweak to the music going on or the lighting, and this would be just an amazing, like, creepy game. I wish there was a mod.
I shall not allow the corruption of my garden. Be gone.
See, moments like that, like just the slightest tweak, and this would be such a fun, like, suspenseful game, I guess would be the best word I have for it. That's not quite right, but I think you get what I'm going for there. You know, I'm gonna need this guy in here. That's not gonna work. And I'd kind of love to see a mod where someone did exactly that, where they replaced the music files with something like a creepier, something more eerie and out there. You know what? I can actually get both of these in one go. That. Alright. Let's see what this does for me. I have no idea what this does for me. like I'm sure I'm supposed to somehow use this fan to solve this level, but looking at it, I have no idea. Like, can I put the connector on the fan directly? No, I cannot. Okay, for now, let's just bring all the connectors out here and see if I need to do something this way. Okay, I need to get this red guy. I need to get that box. There's something I need. There's a blue connector. Okay. Nope. There. All right. And one thing we discovered is that if you cross the streams, even if it's the same color stream, it interrupts itself. Like it'll break the connection. And Sci-Fi Nation is saying, message is disappearing. I'm sorry. Is that messages you're sending in right now? They're not coming through? That stinks. Okay, so now if I take this guy and let's see if I can't. Let's see if I'm amazing or an idiot. Probably a little both. Yeah, a little both. I was close. I was close. I thought that if I put the connector up on the block, it would cross over this fence completely. But I need to put in one more connector to get around it like this. let's go climb the tower. I'm really interested to see what happens if we go up there. But Milton wants to talk to us first. And we're missing a star. I'll try and find that star sometime later. Sci-Fi Nation is saying it's a PooTube thing. John's asking if you have live chat on, which I do. I didn't at first, but I remember to switch over before it went too long. And Sci-Fi Nation is saying yes. Okay, so Sci-Fi, here's what we're going to do. I'll read these off, and then you and John, and obviously anyone else who is watching at the time, y'all can say what answer you want me to give, and we can see if we will do this seriously, or if we just completely mess around with Milton Library Assistant. So, he's saying, you're back. Good. I've been thinking about how I can help you. In light of everything you've said, I'm certain someone has to. What I've decided is that you're not convinced. What I've decided is that you've convinced me your consciousness is a contradictory concept, and therefore not real. Or you've convinced me consciousness in general is a contradictory concept and therefore not real. What do you think? I think you're right. I don't see how this impacts me. I think you're cheating. I don't, apparently. Sci-Fi, I don't know if you were on the stream at this point, but this Milton guy was giving us a huge false dichotomy. It was just, it was ridiculous. He was putting up a straw man argument. It's obvious that the makers of this game have a philosophy that they're heading us toward. And so he was trying to say, like, because we can jump for joy, that feeling creates energy out of nothing because we exist in like a closed system universe. It was a ridiculous argument, but our only options it gave us was I renounce physics or I renounce my line of philosophy. And so you're both saying we're cheating, and yeah, I think he was cheating. That was such a false dichotomy, such a straw man move. So I think you're cheating. I suppose you have some doctorate theory that would solve all the problems. Oh my goodness, what an appeal to authority. I'm just not giving you the chance to deliver it. You should see which way the cookie crumbles before trying to take a bite out of it. This actually works in your favor. What this conclusion means is that the certification program you undertook has been rendered obsolete. We can't test for something that doesn't exist. Therefore you, along with quite a lot of other things, have been recategorized as a person. Your profile can thus be updated with administrative privileges. Okay, so this is why we first started talking to Milton. We needed admin privileges so that we could access the network and hopefully get a hold of someone outside the library program holodeck that we're in. So we're going to download our new user prof and hopefully get some admin privileges here. No doubt you'll be off doing administrative things soon enough. So I wonder if before I let you go, you'll do me one favor. I have a final question for you. Why are you doing all this? What's the point? I try to do what God wants. There's a way the world should be, and this isn't it. I want the truth. I want out of here. Okay, so in real life, I do try to do what God wants. However, in this game, I don't think this voice in the sky who's calling himself Elohim, which, yes, is Hebrew for God, I don't think that person is God. There's a way the world should be, and this isn't it. I don't know that in the game. I want the truth. Sci-Fi and John, you're both saying truth. Yeah, I want the truth. That or I had one out of here, but I do want the truth. Checking user.prof. Now you say that, but if you're serious about it, then you can't cling to your every belief forever, as you seem intent on doing. When everything seems impossible, something's got to give. I only have one last request. Will you come back and speak to me sometime? No doubt I'll have to. No. I like the way that they had all three answers start with no. That was a fun thing to do there. But yeah, as Sci-Fi saying no, we'll never come back. John, you got to vote for how we answer. No doubt I'll have to, or no. No doubt I'll have to. Tell you what, I was gonna say I'm gonna flip a coin, but I don't have that, so I'm gonna flip a SD card. If it comes up on the white side, we'll do no. It comes up on the black side, we'll do no doubt. So here we go. Here it is. It is no. No, we're not gonna do it. Okay, I sense you're eager to get going. Let's do this. Updating certification program parameters to version 452.145 blah 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 blah. Regenerating Your user profile has now been generated. Congratulations! Your account has been updated. Here are the details. Conflicts. All conflicts have been resolved by the administrator. Psychological profile. You're a person. You are perfect just the way you are. You're everything you can already be. You do not have to pretend you are anything else. You are the same as everyone else, but you are all unique. Profile status. Administrator status has advanced functionalities, networking, and troubleshooting. So let us access the comm portal. Loading Milton. Hello, Administrator. I suppose you'd like assistance accessing the communications portal. I see you have a number of pending communications. I'll take a look at it right now. Accessing communications portal, network connection established, encountered unknown errors. Connection established, message received as a string. Display message. Which, hilariously, as soon as I said I wouldn't talk to Milton again, here I am talking to Milton. Message. Hello? Who are you? Where are you? Are you a person? Okay. Do we want to know who we're talking to, where the person is at, or if this is indeed a person? Do we want to try and get philosophical with the person on the other end of the network that we've connected to? Who are you? Who are you? Yeah, let's ask who they are. Message. Don't know exactly. Woke up here. Don't remember. Who are you? Same boat. Let's meet up. I'm a person. Do you know what that means? I'm not telling. This place lies. So, Sci-Fi, John, I don't know if you were here for the first stream or not, but we did wake up in the same boat. Just in the game, you wake up, you take a couple steps, and then Elohim starts talking to you. Sci-Fi Nation saying, I'm a person, but we're definitely have no idea about who we are. I'm pretty sure we're Alexandra based on some earlier emails, although it's getting increasingly uncertain. And then again, we got let's meet up. So we're going to try this again. I'm going to need a coin for next time to resolve conflict. So top side will be I'm a person, bottom let's meet up. So let's, and we are bottom this time. So we're going to do same boat, let's meet up. Message, I understand. Pending. Error. Pending. Error. Again soon. Network connection lost. You will receive a notification when the connection has been reestablished. And then we've already read all of this. Okay, so there is still one more star somewhere. I'm not going to waste a lot of time looking for stars in the middle of a live stream. Where am I? There we go. Okay, so I'll give you guys an option here. I got enough in me for one more level. We can either do... Oh, we got 3 options. Okay. We have gotten our 10th star. So we can either do level 5 in front of me. We can do this star area we found in the very first level that needed 10 stars. Or we can try to climb the tower. So I'll give you all guys the option. Which one of those 3 do you want? Level 5 in front of us, star area, or climb the tower. Let's see. What else do we have in here? And Sci-Fi Nation sounds like AOL. And he's saying, nice STT font, number 5. And John, you got to vote. You want to figure out what the stars do, tower, or just go into number 5 here? John's saying climb the tower. Okay, another... I need a better thing than an SD card. It's not flipping overly well. Okay. 5, tower. Let's give this a... I could do a CD. But that's a little bit... It's a little bit too much of a flip for me, I think. So here we go. Okay, it landed on 5. We're gonna walk in and do level 5 here.
You have solved many of the mysteries of this land. The road before you is still long and many gates remain closed. But take comfort in your accomplishment and in your creator's pride.
So John, next time I load up the game, we're gonna go check out the tower first thing. And see what happens when we really start climbing it. Okay, well, I found a star in this level. Not entirely sure how I'm going to get up there. I'm going to need to find a fan and get a blue light into it. And Sci-Fi Nation is saying Nintendo GameCube discs work well for flipping. I do have quite a few GameCube discs. In fact, hold on, what's the name of this level? It often gives us a hint. Me, myself, and our two jammers. Alright. So, let's see. I'm gonna need to get through this guy. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, if I... Okay, well... As soon as I pick this up, it doesn't work anymore. So how can I get the recording through here? Oh, let's give this a shot. Nah, I'm missing something. Put it dead center. Whoop. Did I just lock myself out? Oh, no. Okay. I lucked out. I completely lucked out. Because that's how you can get through the gate. So now I can pick this guy up. And I can jam the portal projector. Because that was the second mod we had to do to get past get past YouTube's algorithm. So now I can do this. I can shut down the portal projector. And I can stand on this to let him through. So now, when the recording ends, I'll come through the gate over there. He'll still be shut down. I can run through here and then shut down the other portal projector. Yeah, I think this will work. I think we got something going on here. So he picks up the jammer now. Okay, me of the past, stop being happy that we got lucky. Go ahead and shut down the portal projector. Alright. Now I'm gonna go over here and see if there's any secrets. There are not. Nothing over there. Shut it down. And one more sigil. Uh-oh. Gotta bring this guy along, or else I'll be stuck. Oh, what the... Oh. Well, I already got the sigil, so that's okay. But I did not think that last few moments through. Sci-Fi Nation, I still say that bot is an iRobot skin. You know, that is the exact thing I thought when I first saw him. That it looked just like the robots from iRobot. Which, I presume that means you've seen the movie, but have you read the book? Because they are it's a phenomenal book as well. The Four Chambers of Flying. Huh. And Sci-Fi Nation saying Asimov, yes. Okay, good. It is one of my favorite books. Okay, so these are different. They close the force field. Let's see. Oh, that's right. We can take fans. And we can do that with it. But what am I going to do with my connector? Have you read 3001 Beyond Contact? I have not. Is that another Asimov book, or is that someone else? I mean, nothing wrong with it being someone else. I don't want you to think I'm a snob when it comes to my sci-fi novels. Oh, here's some messages. Arthur C. Clarke. You know, I have not read any of Arthur C. Clarke's stuff. I've been meaning to for ages, but I have never gotten around to actually reading one of his books. I'm getting better at this. I figured this one out in minutes, but where is it all leading? I work, I rest, I work, but to what end? Signed Schmo. We are all born and die and live again. This eternal cycle must be the nature of existence. Life is merely repeated suffering. Signed Samsara. An eternal cycle is another name for a prison, but you must understand the cycle before you can break it, for it is possible to escape and yet remain a prisoner, or to break the cycle by breaking yourself. This was the fate of the ghost that haunts this world. Signed the Shepherd. Oh, the 2001 writer. You know, I've seen the movie, but I've never read the book. And oh man, talk about a slow burn of a movie. I mean, I talk about Joker being a slow burn, but 2001, the intro to that was just the longest start of a book I've ever seen, or a movie I've ever seen. And Sci-Fi is saying 2010 was not a book, but a so-so sequel. So was it like a short story he did? Okay, how can I feel like I need to get a block over there. So maybe if I... Oh, but I stole my fan from that one. That wasn't my brightest moment. If I get him over there. Alright. Then I can probably airdrop this. So, did I get it? There we go. I can jam this behind me. Okay. So what have I actually accomplished now? I got my companion cube. I got a jammer. Is there anything I actually need to jam? I can jam that. Alright. You know, a lot of these times I find a way to beat the puzzle, and I wonder if I am actually doing it the right way, or if I am, like, just barely clipping the edge of it. Like, I suspect I wasn't supposed to be able to jam it by placing the jammer right there. I think I got lucky on that one. I think I was supposed to somehow figure out how to get my my red light to come in through here and hit that keyhole. Sci-Fi Nation, 2001 full novel that Stanley Kubrick made into a movie. 2010 had a Sequest captain as main lead character and some Russian chooks. Are you talking about the TV show Sequest? I remember that show along with I want to say, do you remember the Mantis? It had like a season, maybe a couple episodes. But I think they were around the same time, and they were the same kind of cheesy Mantis was much more cheesy than Sequest was, but they had that same kind of feel to them. And Wesley, hey, welcome Wesley, greetings to you too. And Sci-Fi saying, but no novel that I know of. John saying hi to Wesley, and Sci-Fi saying yes, Roy Schneider. I do remember that Sequest show. Hey Wesley, have you been on one of these streams where I've been playing this game? Are you kind of up to speed on this puzzle game that I've been doing the past weekish, about a week here? John's saying, I love Sequest. Just rewatched it recently. Really? Do you have the physical media, or is it on one of those like Amazon or Hulu or Netflix? Okay, Behind the Iron Curtain. Alright. Let's start by getting my companion cube over there. Wesley, I have the other game on PS4 that looks like this. And John's saying, I found the DVDs at my local library. Huh! I would never have expected the library to have that. And Sci-Fi saying, 3001, very little known novel by Clark, no movie yet. The other game on PS4 that looks like this, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a PS4 version of this port. But is it actually this game, or is it just kind of a similar-esque one? And Wesley's saying, no, have not been this game. So this is the Talos Principal, Wesley, and it's proving an interesting game so far. The overall premise that we've been able to work out is that we are in some sort of kind of end of the world scenario. Things have just gone absolutely wrong for us. And we are trying to figure out how wrong they've actually gone. Wesley's saying it's a different game. Sci-Fi is saying this was an awesome Brain Tease game. That was like the original Brain Tease game, I want to say. Okay. That's not going to work. I need more cubes. I need a lot more cubes. In fact, I probably need all the more cubes. Okay, so if I'm not getting distracted, what we found out so far in this game is that I'm pretty sure we're someone named Dr. Alexandra. Not 100% able to prove that yet, but that's just my gut feeling at this point in time. And based on that gut feeling, it seems like things went very, very wrong for us. That either we became a test subject, and we're obviously in a virtual environment. It's totally a VR world. There's definitely no questions about that. Because here we are, this is what we look like, kind of the iRobot version of robotics. But it's very much a... can I crouch? I cannot crouch. Very much a virtual environment. And... well, I bet I can use the connector to connect this. And as we've gone on, we've been able to find out more and more things like the world is ending, it seems like. Power's gone offline, internet's dropping, and then really recently we've been able to find out that there's some sort of... we haven't been able to find out if it's been an infection or if it's just something else. That's kind of one of the mysteries we're dealing with at this point still, of what it was. But all the humans have been dying. It seems as if dogs are fine, but humans have been dying. They talked about losing 7 people in a week, so things be going bad on that front. Crap, how am I supposed to... I need one of those boxes back. Oh, no, I don't. I can use the fan blade. There we go. It's okay, I am doing my best not to get distracted, but as you see, I'm being a little stumped by this one. Because we're going to need to connect these two lights here, but as soon as I do this, it's going to get upset. I'm crossing the streams. Like this will... Maybe if I swap things up here. Have it go maybe just barely higher. There we go. That one made me work for it. Sci-Fi Nation, at Life with Matthew. It's an AI messing with you, like in that dumb movie Oblivion. Don't cross the streams, Ray. So every once in a while you find some paint cans, and if you use it, one of the options they give you to like write a QR message on the wall is you should try crossing the streams, just to mess with people, I guess. The voice keeps saying that this world is a garden, but all I see is a desert full of ruins. Signed, Dog. Now, if we go out too far, we start hearing Elohim talking about how this. And if I go just a little bit forward, I actually reset back to the beginning like so. Let's see, I still have... Did I just clip right through that sign? I did. Weird. Okay, I still got one more straight piece of my... Oh, I got two more puzzles here. Okay, let's go find this straight piece. Okay, so this is the other fun thing. Okay, yeah, right? Okay, Wesley, if you go back and listen at like double speed, like I want to say it was 2 streams ago, maybe it was the last stream. There was one part where we're just walking around, we just beat a level, and all of a sudden this recording of ourselves or past version of ourselves, whatever, one of the other people, the Samsara or Dog or someone, just comes running right at us screaming. It was such a freaky moment. Okay, yes, we were talking about that Skyrim sci-fi. Sci-fi was saying, Sci-Fi Nation was saying smart, hardpoint, border patrolling, unlike Skyrim. I'll try to remember that in just a second here, but one of the interesting things about this is they give you the feeling as if this whole system's slowly breaking down. We've been seeing these glitching wall pieces, but also there's spots like this where this clearly used to be a puzzle. Like, here's a sign for it, except the purple wall is missing, the sign's broken down. You saw the wall was glitching there just a second ago. And then there's no sigil or anything. It's just the hollow leftovers of what used to be a puzzle in this game. I'm coming back because, I mean, if I was going to hide a secret, this is totally where I'd hide it in this game. Okay, so Wesley's saying, if Bird of Prey 5 played this, would he be able to beat it? Oh, I think so. I mean, you play enough of these puzzle-type games, and they all start to, they share the same basic principles, and you're able to work it out. But we were talking a while back ago about, this is going to use all the skills we've learned so far, about good game design. And one of the things I really appreciate about this is that instead of just saying, here's a wall and you can't get past this wall, or here's a mountain and you can't get past this mountain. I really like the fact that they came up with here is the point that you can't go beyond, and here's the reason why you can't go beyond it. Like, here's a logical in-game reason that adds to kind of the mystery and the excitement of the game, instead of just, and here's a wall you can't get past. Sci-Fi Nation is saying, Hell Kuroga indeed. That's the team I'm on as well. And John is saying, after seeing him play the Stanley Parable, I think this game might make him go nuts. That was so much fun. I love seeing Joe play the Stanley Parable. It was one of those games I got for free a long time ago. I'm gonna take this for now. And I played through it, and it was one of those games where the more I played it, just the more fun I was having playing it because of how ridiculous it is. And I really like the way it got you into thinking about kind of the concepts that go behind video game design. Like the narrator going on and on and on about just everything you're doing there. Like, oh no, this isn't where the adventure is supposed to begin. But then again, it's the act of trying to find the adventure itself. And I really enjoy that kind of meta thinking. Let's see, and I think I need to stand here for a minute so I can try and work out the puzzle that I think I may have just messed up behind me, but we'll find out. Let's see, where was I in chat? Wesley Cross was saying, John, I know, I didn't think it would be that hard on him. Sci-Fi Nation saying, just point camera up, start climbing. Yay, Elder Scrolls. Sci-Fi Nation, I found that trick in Vanilla WoW, laugh out loud. Wesley, I'm glad I got him it. Yeah, I don't think he was expecting it to be that kind of game. Let's see. Now I know in the end, I'm going to want to have that blue light connecting to that connector and that. And to do that, I'm gonna need this guy and this guy. And even this guy. So let's get this started. That there. And him. Oh, but I can't finish it, can I? Because as soon as I pick this up, I'm stuck. Alright, well, let's see how this does for me. Okay. So, there's that. There's this. Rats, that's not gonna work. Okay, cancel this whole thing. Stop. I'm close, but I got the sequence messed up. So to start this off with, I need to stand right here. So I'm recording me, I'm standing on the plates. Now the real me can come up, I can grab the connector, I can make the connections, put it on the block, walk away. So now the recording me can collect the pieces. Hopefully I was following right behind myself as I did that. I've run forward, everything is connected, hopefully. Just in case I messed it all up, everything's back to where it belongs. Gosh. Okay, so while I'm waiting for recording me to catch up, let's read some comments. Sci-Fi Nation, lots of SOBs was well worth a watch. It was hilarious. John DeMarco is saying watching him drive off the platform to his death twice was hilarious. Sci-Fi Nation could have been an alternate ending. That's how old school games were, to be fair. And Wesley saying my comments about what he was doing before he did it really messed with him. And Sci-Fi saying, but they were true. Oh. And there we go. Alright, we should have one more level in here somewhere. Where's that last sigil? Nope. Let's see. It's this way. Maybe it's this way more. Here we go. Slightly elevated sigil. Okay, so I'm gonna have this. That's probably my elevation point. Okay, let's get that companion cube. Okay, there we go. That's the sigil I need to get to in the end. So yes, I need to somehow activate that guy. Let's start by connecting this up. Connect here. Connect to this guy. And put him on. I think that'll do it. It won't. I feel misled. Wow. I got completely tricked there. I thought that was going to be 100% all it took to beat this level. Wesley saying, next round of Space Engineers, I will join Kuroga. Well, good. I'll be glad that you're back where you belong. Sci-Fi Nation, I want to pick up my Xbox One controller and press X every time I see that sign. Which sign do you want to? Which one? Which sign do you want to press X on? And Wesley saying, I want to make a large warship. Sci-Fi Nation, I will when I upgrade from my Xbox or from my 10-year-old PC. It is okay. So it took me the longest time to finally upgrade. I swear that's where I'm supposed to be. Because I kept waiting for the i9, or not i9, the 9th gen Intel CPU to come out. And man, they just dragged their feet forever to release that. Okay, I'm clearly not doing the right thing. Come on down now. Am I overthinking this? What if I just... No, that'd be too far. Right here. Maybe if I just put them up like that. Make it over the fence. I cannot. But, what if... okay, I think I got it now. Saying it like that made me realize I still want him here. I'm gonna need this here. And then if I get him up in the air to start off with. Now I can remove this guy. There we go. This will do it. Right like that, around the corner. All right. Okay, let's see. Sci-Fi Nation is saying the white signs that say X. Okay. And then I'm going to build a Ryzen system, 2K soft budget. I built a PC in 2005 that lasted until 2 years ago. That is the way to go. In my past life, I was a computer technician person. And you just can't beat the price of building it yourself. I had to go for a laptop this time around because my job takes me all over the place, to places that it's really not convenient to have to drag a tower and a monitor and all that good stuff. I went with the Core i7 9th gen because everything I read, when you pack the Core i9 into a laptop, it actually throttles down usually to worse than the i7, simply because of all the heat it generates. So I saved some money and went with the Core i7. Okay, so for anyone who hasn't been here for this yet, when I click on this, I think it's going to have me talk to either Milton or this new guy we've been talking to. And whichever, I'll read out their little text blurb, and it usually gives us some options that we get to select from. So whichever option the most people select, that's what I'm going to say. It can be the serious option or it can be the ludicrous option, but I'll go with it either way. Attention administrator, the network connection has been reestablished. Would you like to reconnect to the previous session? Well, yes, I'm going to say yes on this one. And Sci-Fi saying, eek! Greed BSI. Receiving message as stream. Received. Message. Are you back? Yes. What were you trying to say before? Yes. Do these terminals talk to you at all? And yes, but how do I know I can trust you? So I'll give you all just a second here, and I try to make the stream as low latency as possible so that I'm not having to hem and haw for a long time while you all decide which option you like. But we can have more of a we're doing this together feel to it. So they're asking is, John DeMarco, what were you trying to say? So he's asking us, are you back? And yes, what were you trying to say before? Yes, do these terminals talk to you at all? Or yes, but how do I know I can trust you? And I'll give y'all just another second if anyone wants to chime in. Otherwise, we'll go with yes, what were you trying to say before? All right, yes, what were you trying to say? Message, don't remember, doesn't matter. I've been trying to figure out how this place works. Sometimes it seems like there's a purpose to everything, other times not so much. I think we must be plugged into some kind of machine. I think something else is going on. And these are the responses we got. We can either say, I think something else is going on, or what do you have to go on? Or making assertions is a hazardous enterprise. Just from what we've done so far, I do think we are plugged into a machine. So I do agree with him on that one. Sci-Fi Nation saying the third one, making assertions is a hazardous enterprise. I do like that. And that feels like if I was Spock, that is totally how I would respond. So okay, we will go with making assertions is a hazardous enterprise. What else could possibly explain all of this? I don't believe in demons and evil wizards. And John's saying third one is good. Good, I'm glad that we went with that one. So we can respond to this comment with, I think this is some kind of punishment. I think something has gone badly wrong. I don't believe in anything anymore. I think we're being prepared for something, and perhaps you have it right after all. Okay, so I guess in-game, it's giving us the choice of what we might actually believe is going on if we didn't believe we were plugged into a computer at this point. That we would believe that we're being punished, something's gone badly wrong, which I do kind of think something's gone wrong. There seems to be an end-of-the-world scenario. I don't believe in anything anymore. Or the fourth one, I think we're being prepared for something. Which we could be, and if it turns out that we are children programs, because that's one of the things that we've seen so far, is that when a program gets terminated, it creates a progeny program, as if we are iterations of an AI. And if that ends up being the case, then it would kind of imply that we are being prepared for something down the road. So we'll go with that one. I think we're being prepared for something. Oh, perhaps you have it right after all. So if Wesley, if you want to chime in with a tiebreaker, what do you think? I think we're being prepared for something, or perhaps you have it right after all. We'll give you a second to respond, and if you're not able to respond right now, I will resort to flipping my handy dandy SD card, with the top being the being prepared and the bottom being perhaps you have it right. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to flip this, and Wesley, you can respond if you have an input on that. Otherwise, whatever this says will do. And we got the top, which I said would be perhaps you have it right after all. Not SSD, I hope, is what sci-fi is saying. No, it is just a 8 gigabyte SD card. Nothing fancy. It's a super tiny one anyway. It's just something I keep around, honestly, for... it's one of my spare Raspberry Pi cards. I forget what OS I have on that one. Oh, I did that backwards, didn't I? I'm sorry. I said it would be the fourth one. I totally misclicked. Okay, perhaps. Who knows? Listen, there's something else. Maybe it can help us. Ever since I got here, I felt like something was wrong. This place plays tricks on you. You can't get your head straight. But I think I know a way to find out the truth. I was digging about in some documents, and I kept finding references to this password. I think it might be some kind of library master key, but I don't know how to use it. I have no idea either. Well, of course I don't know what it is. I don't have an idea. I've never come across a password. What is it? Or you shouldn't dig too deep. Sci-Fi Day saying cheap SD. Good. My phone has 16 gig micro SD. Oh yeah, I mean it's ridiculous what we can jam into these phones. I forget what sort of SD card I have in my phone, but after my second son was born, we lost the first entire week of photos of him, his birth and everything, because my son grabbed my phone and he tried to unlock it too many times, and the company I was with at the time had it set up where it would erase your entire phone after too many unlocks. And so after that, I got an SD card, and all my my camera photos go onto the SD card now, so that I don't get messed up like that again. And what is it is what the consistency is. Yeah, let's find out what the password is. Because the phone wipe, it would have wiped the phone, but the SD card would have been safe. I wouldn't have lost any photos if I'd just been saving it externally. So he's saying, swear not to go anywhere without me, and I'll tell you. Malprocess that bat logged into the session. Wait, what is that? Are you doing that to my terminal? I don't think this is a good idea. Session terminated. Okay, so we don't know what the password is, but the anti-virus program didn't like us talking about it. That's fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and read this, and this will be what we end with tonight, because it's getting late. I could do this all night, but I do need to wrap things up. So let's read Osiris 7. Tell me of the fearsome demons of the duet, the dying man said to the wise scribe. Though their tribal forms are loathsome to behold, they are not evil, for they are the servants of the gods. Truly, they are the blessed doorkeepers and guardians of the holy paths. Their charge is to judge whether they are worthy to pass the gates that lead to Aru, and so they challenge us with riddles or in combat. Ooh, the Cleon way. Is this true of all the beings that live in the duat? Some say that it is not so, that there are ancient gods whose names have been forgotten, and spirits of darkness whose names none have ever known, and that these must be avoided at all costs. But others say that these too serve a greater purpose in the ways that Osiris has not revealed to us. And what are the hidden paths that they are taken by and then errors out? Blog 24, signed _alive. What is the point of being alive? I know, it's an old question, and not one that's easy to answer. But I mean, if you're reading this, you are alive, and someday you will stop being alive. Both of these facts are incontrovertible. So what about it then? Don't you wonder, do you just want to go from not existing to not existing again without even considering why? You, right now, as you sit there reading this, why do you exist? What is the purpose of your life? Do you have one? Should you have one, is it better to have a purpose or not? When you approach death, will you feel that your life had meaning? If so, why? If not, why not? What defines whether life was good or not? It may seem abstract right now, but that moment just before death will come. It is inevitable. If you don't ask yourself these questions, how will you face that moment? And it's an interesting read, something philosophers worry about, I guess. Personally, I mean, I've said this a lot. I believe in the Bible, and so I believe that the purpose of being alive is to glorify God, which I respect that not everyone believes that, but that would be my answer to his question there. From Rob McLean, Institute for Applied Nomadics, to Mom. Subject, coming soon. Your son, in 3D. Hi, Mom. I promise I'll be home soon. Maybe a couple weeks. I know. But what we're doing here is important, and the team needs my help. I'm not going to wait until it's too late, I promise, but there's so much we have to set up. So much that has to work for a very, very long time. Besides, I've always wanted to work on one of these supercomputers, and believe me, L is pretty much the best there is. And the team, Mom, it's like I'm working with the rock stars and mad geniuses. Except nobody's heard of them outside of science journals, of course. But Dad would be totally geeking out if he knew. Maybe I can tell him about it soon, huh? Love, Rob. So this is another one of these posts that have it hinting toward some sort of catastrophic biological event that humans seem to be ending out here. So that's going to be it at the puzzle section. Let's go and leave this area, because that will confirm we got paused there, and then I can go ahead and stop this game and let it stop buzzing in my ear there. Okay, well, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this stream. Let me try to do a scene change here. Let's see if this works. There we go. And I can actually, let's turn some stuff off. We don't need that going on. And let's see, let's turn off that. Okay, there we go. So Sci-Fi Nation, we were talking a little bit ago about kind of the system I have set up here, and this is making everyone sick. I know. This is what I'm working with. That's just the green screen that I normally have. If I actually zoom out here, you can see that it is just lovely, beautiful PVC pipes shoved together, holding up this screen. So I went just as absolutely low tech as possible, kept the price of everything down, because you don't have to spend a lot of money to be making these fun videos, and it is so much fun. Doing YouTube is just being so much fun for me. I think in the end, if you were to count the camera I bought, which I was able to offload that as a work expense because I needed something better for work. I couldn't be using my rinky-dink for these conference calls. So not counting that, which that was like an $80 expense. But it was $20 for this camera, or this lapel mic, maybe $15-20 for the green screen off Amazon. You could probably find one cheaper somewhere. And then I think those clips up there, actually tell you what, if I move to the side, there you go, the little black Velcro clips here. I spent another $5 or $10 off Amazon or eBay to get those. And I needed them because just using the clips at the top, the screen wasn't pulled tight enough. And so it made for a lot of bad effects areas. Like if the green screen isn't tight, it casts a lot of shadows. And so it creates weird artifacting whenever you do green screen. But then to substitute it, I'm able to use a built-in filter to OBS, and it just pops it straight out and you're done. So that's just a look behind the scenes, something we were talking about earlier. Sci-Fi Nation, he was saying, I broke the kernel with Odin, screw paying for a hotspot, LOL. Yeah, so I don't know when they changed this, but I had to switch to Verizon a while back ago. So I'm independently employed. My wife owns a company that I work for doing programming, and I went out to the middle of, I think it was Montana, Minnesota, somewhere north, somewhere cold, for an oil field project. And I had Sprint at the time, and I'm doing all the work over my phone, using it as a hotspot. And I don't know when they went from making you pay for hotspots to just letting the phones do it. But thankfully, it just does it. And all of a sudden, everything stopped. I had no more data, no nothing at all. and I was trying to figure out what had gone wrong. And so I called up Sprint, and I found out that they cap you a hard data cap of, I think it was 2 gigabytes whenever you're roaming outside your national area. So, or whenever you're roaming on someone else's network. So the area I was in had no Sprint towers. So I'd use 2 gigabytes on like a Verizon tower or something, or an AT&T tower. And it turns out that that there's no way to increase it. Because I'm like, okay, so what do I have to pay you to let me have more data? Because, this is my business phone. I need to be able to conduct business when I'm not on your network towers. And like, no, there's no plan that gives you more. It's just, it is a hard 2 or maybe even 1 gigabyte data limit. And as soon as I got home from that business trip, I immediately swapped over to Verizon, and it's free. I'm able to do unlimited. I'm saying hotspot. Using my phone as a hotspot, creating a mobile tether, a mobile Wi-Fi spot, so that I can share my phone data plan with my laptop. And on that, I think I paid for the better plan where I can do up to, I think it's unlimited. I can do unlimited sharing and have the high speed rate. Otherwise, Verizon was something like 10 or 15 gigs, and then they bumped you down to either a 4G or a 3G speed. Let's see, where was I? But yeah, I'm not sure when they changed that. Because I remember back in the day, I had to route my phone so I could do USB tethering to share my my cell connection with my laptop. Wesley's saying, I don't know what is going on in the game. It does look fun. I'll try and do a better synopsis next time you're around. I got totally distracted with that puzzle. John's saying, thanks for another fun stream. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I'm having a lot of fun doing these streams. Like I said, I've already figured out the next game I'm going to play, I think, once we finish up the Talos Principal. It's another one of these mystery type games that things unfold. At least that's what I think. I haven't played a second of it, so we're going to go through it together, kind of blind. Sci-Fi's saying, I'm in it for the community. I put that in my channel description. That's great. I mean, it is so much fun doing this. Sci-Fi Nation, I hope you get some videos turned up soon. I'm going to head over there and get subscribed to you as soon as the stream is done. I really look forward to seeing what sort of content you put out. And, this has been the best community I've seen in terms of building up other channels. I started off watching Anti-Trekker, and that got me on to Bird of Prey 5s. And it was only after I'd been watching them for a while that I found out that he got Nerdrotic going, and he got Doomcock going. I had no idea that they had done this. And then, they're just constantly promoting other channels here, like Vile Mike doing his funny skits with his Vile Child, and Rambling Canuck, who, I haven't gotten to see him recently. I've missed his content, which I know he's been having some back problems, and I pray that he's doing better soon, because I really enjoyed his Canadian humor every once in a while when he did his live streams. But I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that anywhere else. Every other kind of YouTube community that does similar stuff, I've just never seen them shout each other out the way that we do here, and I really love that. Sci-Fi Nation is saying, zip strips free at my hardware store. Oh, yeah, exactly. That really helps pull that sheet tight. And then hotspots have always been a paid service. You know what? I guess I am talking about using my phone as a hotspot and not connecting to a hotspot. That's true. And he's saying, I use Virgin Mobile, 10 gig cap before throttle down, 2 gig was the norm. Yeah, I ended up going with Verizon. I'm on a family plan. I've been on a plan with, it used to be both my parents, now it's just my mom. My dad passed away at the end of last year. And then with my sister and my wife. And it's just, Verizon, it ended up being a good price, and it ended up being the best fit for my business needs. And so the fact I was able to get like if it was just me by myself, I could not afford Sprint or Verizon or even AT&T. Like the plans that actually give me what I need are too expensive. But these family sharing plans they do, they're just they make it really economical. So I got very lucky there. Sci-fi saying, I use the internet connection sharing from my cell phone to my PC and Xbox. Oh gosh, that's really hopping it there. And then John saying, yes, it's a great community. It really is. And Sci-fi saying, I found A2 through Trek Yards and Lore Reloaded and then Bird of Prey 5 and everyone else. I've never been able to get into Lore Reloaded. I've never even seen Trek Yards. I've heard them mentioned a couple times, but I've never gotten around to actually going out and seeing how they're doing. And then Sci-Fi saying, yes, mean using my phone as a wireless access point. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm not sure when they changed it then, because I'm able to just set this up as a Wi-Fi access point without any fuss or muss. And then John saying, I first heard about AT from Lore as well. Okay, so in my YouTube feed, I saw Anti-Trekker's name pop up on the sidebar for just ages, saying, well, here's someone that you might like. He kind of does similar things that you're interested in. I'm like, I don't know, Anti-Trekker? Someone who's against Star Trek? I don't know if I could ever get into this guy. And then by sheer happenstance, it finally suggested that I watch his series on The Last Jedi. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to see what it has to say about The Last Jedi. And I got completely hooked on it. By the time I had finished The Last Jedi, I already gone back and started all of his Borg series, which he still owes us, those Borg series. I mean, I get it, broken back, busted knee. I joke. My dad had a broken back for a long time. I know how bad that stuff is. But he still owes us for the rest of that Borg series. I can't wait for him to start getting into the Voyager series when they really start decimating the lore of the Borg. But after that, I mean, I was just completely hooked on him. And then Sci-Fi saying, Lorehead is a character, Stewart is just an awesome human on a personal level. I never got into his streams. It's weird. You can have two people who do so similar streams, and just one of them you end up liking, and the other one, it just never clicks. So it's not like I dislike Lore stream. It's just, for me, it was never, I never was able to get into it. And then Wesley saying, Cinnabon and I are going to do some Payday 2 live streams. Oh, okay. Payday 2. It's not ringing a bell. I look forward to you streaming it. And then Sci-Fi saying, Wesley Chrysler, nice. I've been watching his streams. And John DeMarco saying, Trek Yard is great for in-depth description of starships and tech, but they are a little nicer on Disco than most of us. So I do a series called The Moment You Lost Me on my channel. And that's where I break down, here's a TV show or a movie so far, and here's where it's going, and then this moment happens, and just, it ruined it for me. I can't get involved with it anymore. And then I talk about how I think I could fix it. Because one thing I really try and focus on is, I don't just want to badmouth something. I want to offer up things that I think could have potentially solved the problems we're seeing. And I haven't found a way to do this yet with Star Trek Discovery. And I know I'm gonna upset some people with this one, but also the moment that lost me of Battlestar Galactica, the new one, because both of them happened way too early in the series. And I feel like on Battlestar Galactica, I owe it to them to go back and watch the series at some point, because I think they really improved from it. But there was a moment when they talked about connecting a wire between two computers, and that being what allowed the Cylons to hack into the system. And it wasn't that it was a communication array it wasn't the computer was a communication computer and a non-com computer. It was the wire connection. And as a networking guy, as a computer guy, I couldn't handle it. I'm like, no, I'm out. I'm done. But with Star Trek Discovery, it was that stupid Starfleet Delta in the sand when the captain and Michael walked through the middle of a windstorm in a desert, and somehow their footprints weren't erased, and they were able to create such a huge Starfleet insignia that it could be seen from space, from their ship, that they were able to come and get rescued. I said, no, I'm going to have such problems with this series. But I gave it a shot. I tried so hard with Discovery. and I think I was about 5 or 6 episodes in when I just quit entirely. I couldn't watch it anymore, and I just watched Bird of Prey and Anti-Tracker's review of it, because those are so much more fun. And yeah, John's saying, or hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Sci-Fi Nation saying, I've been talking to Stuart for a few years, really good guy. And then John saying, yeah, I was going to say that the moment Disco loses you is easily within the first 5 minutes. It is. Oh my goodness, that stupid insignia. I couldn't take it. Like, I really enjoy the Voyager series, because they do such technobabble. I'll grant you that. And it's insane quantum sort of technobabble. But I enjoyed it just for the fun. Like, it was a really active, bubbly, it was a fun Star Trek series. And I think it was also kind of the age I was whenever it came out. I was alive when TNG came out. I was alive for several years when TNG came out, but it wasn't like it was like toward the end of TNG before I was really old enough to care about the sort of subject matter they were talking about. And then DS9 came along, and I enjoyed DS9, but it was kind of more of a darker war tone. And then Voyager came along, and it's bright, it's nonsensical at times, and it knows it, but it has fun being nonsensical and trying to give you these sort of quasi-science things. And so it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the Voyager series. I forgot why I went off on this tirade. I got to the end of that sentence there and totally forgot, which, it happens. And Wesley saying Payday is a bank robbery game. It's funny. I look forward to it. Probably something about how I tried to get Discovery a good shot, but it didn't make it. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and sign off there. I'm having a lot of fun just chit-chatting with you guys. But I do need to wrap it up. I got an early morning heading out west in the morning to a job site. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that I get to do another one of these streams soon, and we can continue unraveling this mystery of the Talos Principal. And y'all have just a great night. Y'all take care. And I still gotta find an ending credit card instead of my recycling my starting one again.